this shit over here. Episode 26. Now, feels kind of cliche to say this because I feel like I say it every time, but with how crazy life has been lately, a lot has happened since the last time I did this. First and foremost, overall, I'm feeling fucking awesome. There are a few reasons why, mainly due to the fact that my network is growing. I am no longer alone, and this is huge because since I can remember right out of high school, I wasn't necessarily alone, but because I had friends and stuff around me. However, being the person that I am, I've always had huge dreams and goals and ambitions that I've always wanted. I can remember the first time I was in the 4th grade, okay, and I live in Utah, if you don't already know that, and it's a very, especially back, I don't even know how long ago, over, 15 years ago, it's very white dominant, okay, and being mixed race and stuff, I mean, I've never really experienced that much racism and everything, that's not where I'm going with this, but being mixed race, being black in a white dominant school, every school I went to I was very, the black sheep, but in 4th grade I remember being one of the few people of color in the school, and 2, I was in a very broke, my family was very broke, so I was not only needing government assistance for food and stuff, but when I had friends come over, it was very humbling, I guess, because we didn't have much, and then I'd go over to my friends' houses, and their parents were very well off, so it was the first time I ever really saw, like, abundance, and, like, seeing how these people lived, and how they, like, where they lived and stuff, and how they lived their lives, what they ate, and just, like, their lifestyle, like, what they could do, and comparing that to my life I was living. A lot of people say that would be a bad thing, is, don't compare yourself to others, but I vividly remember seeing one of my friends' houses. They weren't, like a classmate, I guess would be a better way to say this, but seeing one of my classmates' houses, we actually went over to her house for a field trip, which is crazy thought. Like, we went over to this girl's house for a field trip, and her father was the brother of the current governor of the state of Utah. They were Herbert, if you're familiar with Utah's politics, but their house was insane, and it really left an impression on me, and ever since that day, I'll never forget, I always wanted to have a life like that. I always wanted a lot of money, a lot of, not necessarily material things, but I wanted, a very nice house. I wanted to have, people come over to my house, because growing up, living in a small, like, kind of rundown apartment or townhome, just depending on what time of life I was in, but it just really kind of, I didn't know people could live like that, and yeah, like I said, it just really changed my perspective on all that. So what I'm getting at is, I'm no longer alone in my journey, because ever since that day, I've always wanted in some way to pursue that, my first endeavor was with music. That was my longest endeavor. I haven't necessarily quit doing music, but I don't see that as an outlet for me getting to that point, because not only is it a super oversaturated industry, but it's kind of soulless in a sense, because with how competitive it is, you just kind of have to sell yourself. And I love music. Music's one of my biggest passions in my life, but I do not want that to be my sole source of income, because especially after EDC and everything, just seeing the state of like how music is, and like some of the things that's happened with rap concerts, and even rap is in general is just not the ideal route that I want to go. So, man, I just keep straying away from the point I'm trying to make. But I am not alone in my journey. I have people who are on the same path, who are thinking similarly, and bouncing ideas back and forth, which is something that's very, very new to me. And in my 28 years of life, it kind of sucks to kind of realize this late in my life. Relatively speaking, 28 isn't necessarily old at all. But if I would have had people like this around me when I was 20, 21, even right after high school at 18, I would not be where I am currently. And that's another thing too, is with everything that's been going on in my life, I've kind of put a curtain over that, which a lot of people would do. And I can't necessarily blame myself for just doing this. But obviously, I went through a breakup I broke up with a partner, and our relationship lasted for 8.5 years. So, a lot of things happened. I rooted from my apartment. I currently live with my mother. I would never have wanted to, no one wants to say that, especially a man in his, almost 30s. And it's very humbling, and I feel like I need to document this and just let you guys know, and also to remind myself, like, I know where I'm going. Like, especially having people around me that are ultimately going to help me get there as well. So I feel ashamed for feeling ashamed to share this. So I live with my mother. I'm working at Amazon being a delivery driver. But I feel really, really good because not only am I doing the bare minimum, but I'm also going to the gym every single day. At least 5 or 6 days a week. Not every single day. It's not necessarily good for you. I learned that the hard way. Going to the gym. I have no source of video games. Side tangent. When I moved back in with my mother a couple weeks ago, obviously I was very close to being very depressed with everything changing. I started playing League a little bit. I was vaping with my significant other when I saw her to, pick up my son and whatnot. So I was just cheating myself. Cheating you guys, because that's something I really preach. Discipline, no vaping, no video games. So what I'm getting at is I have no vices, but aside from my work. No video games, no weed, no vaping, no porn, no masturbating. When I wake up, the first thing I do is get ready, go to the gym. When I go to the gym, I hammer out my tasks. Past couple days have been really busy because I'm still finalizing everything in the apartment, getting shit sold, moving into storage, yada yada yada. And then with work, getting all that shit squared away. But every other second of the day, I am working towards my future, my business. I mentioned this in the previous episode, I have my e-commerce business, and then I have my new business. Still getting it. It's not, I wouldn't even say off the ground because it's not even really built yet. Like, I guess the framework of it, but we're getting close. So that's my two focuses there, and then the channel. Many people, including myself, would say that I'm focusing on too much. I do not disagree, nor do I agree. Reason being is, one, there have been times where, especially with my business that I'm building, there have been skills that, had I not done this other stuff, I would not have been able to, one, have the opportunity to do it, or have the idea to even do it, and two, have the knowledge and base skill set to do it. So I'm still on the fence about juggling these. If anything, I will drop the e-commerce and then just focus on the channel and this new business I'm working on. But the state of my e-commerce business, I mentioned before that it's gotten to the point where it's just posting content, which is kind of funny because I'm posting content with the channel, but I'm not making money from the channel because it's very small. But with the e-commerce business, I think I'm getting a check for like $480 for the month, which is not a lot of money, obviously, but that's food for, the month for me, at least. Like, posting on Facebook and Instagram is paying for my food. So why would I stop? Obviously, it's hard to call it an e-commerce business because I'm not selling any tangible products, but I am making money from it. So I will continue to post content. There's still some things I need to learn on that end. Probably fix the issue I'm having with not selling products, but that's not super important. What's really important to me right now is, one, getting this podcast and just this channel. I'm not even going to really say podcast because I'm going to be posting a lot more stuff than just me talking unedited to a webcam. But I do want to help people, especially young men, because I wish I had some guidance when I was younger, like a father figure, even a big brother figure. I'm not going to go too big into my past again because I've already done that, but I didn't have a father growing up. I'm the oldest of 5 siblings, so growing up I've always been the man of the house. I've always had to find ways to do stuff on my own, trial and error. So that's how I was raised. And unfortunately, I never really sought guidance online, which in hindsight I really should have. But honestly, there probably weren't that many role models back, 2013, 2014 that really would have helped me out. But anyways, I do have a lot of plans for this channel, and ultimately a lot of plans for life in the coming months. And this is due to the fact that with the whole breakup thing, I am liberated in the sense that I don't have much else to lose aside from obviously my life and my son, but I've basically cut off everything else that was, I don't want to say holding me back, but holding me back. And it just feels really good. Obviously, especially yesterday morning, I didn't feel too good about it. A lot of anxiety, a lot of bad dreams were the cause of my anxiety. But today, completely, 180. I am feeling awesome. There's a few things that I've done since the last episode that's really kind of helped me. And not even since last episode, since yesterday. One, journaling. Since I had crazy dreams, I wanted to document how they made me feel and actually what they were too, because you will forget dreams unless they're super vivid ones. But in this sense, I just wanted to document my dreams, and I guess nightmares is a better way to put it, and then just how my day went, how it ended, that kind of thing. Then also fasting. Today was the first time I've ever fasted. I'm still fasting, actually. It's 7:22. I do need to eat because I have a big day tomorrow. But I knew that if I was going to eat before I record this, it would be kind of shit, because I'd be tired. So, journaling, fasting. I am no longer vegan. It's the third thing. I have been following a few regimens with eating eggs at night. So I'm eating 4 eggs at night. I had a steak salad for my first meat in 5.5 years from Cafe Rio. It's actually pretty phenomenal. My guts kind of feel a little weird, like intestinal wise. I'm sure you can understand what I'm talking about. But other than that, I feel absolutely great. My weight has been pretty good considering that I've been fasting and haven't really eaten all day. Like, I have a scale, and I just feel like with meat, like, it just takes longer to digest, so I don't know. I feel like my weight is more stable, whereas when I was vegan, like, if I didn't eat all day for, like, when I was playing video games or something back when I was a dumbass, I would be fucking like 5 pounds lighter than where I should be. Whereas right now I'm like 2.5, maybe 3 pounds lighter. So definitely retaining weight better. And yeah, I mean, I'm really excited to start eating meat again and gaining more weight, gaining more mass. Because one of the big reasons why I decided to stop being vegan, to stop being vegan was just seeing everyone at the gym, like seeing how large they were. I mean, obviously there's gonna be some dudes who are on steroids and TRT and shit, which I'm not about, but like the average dude, it's even like when I went to Cafe Rio, like just there were people like dudes just coming in with like arms that weren't defined at all, but just the size of them were like big, and it just comes from like eating meat. Like, it's just, I don't know, because I do know that before I was vegan, I was like 145 pounds, and granted this was 5 years ago when I was like 23, and when I went vegan, the lowest I ever weighed when I was vegan was like 129. Like in quarantine, I was severely out of shape. But there are pros and cons to both diets. If you want to lose weight quick, I would highly suggest a vegan diet for a few months because you will slim the fuck down. But I don't want to slim down. I'm trying to gain a lot of weight, a lot of mass, a lot of muscle, just size in general, so I should not be vegan. That's my thought process. I don't agree with a lot of stuff. The politics of meat, I guess. But shit happened. I mean, that's circle. I'm not going to get into that, but yeah. So I feel good. And then on final note, it's a long episode today, but breakups just really suck. And that's what I want to cover on the long form content that I will be producing. It's going to be edited and just a little more professional than this, just unedited and just diarrhea of the mouth. But breakups suck. But they are kind of a gift. The anguish and pain and anger you feel inside, especially as a man, can be transformed into a lot of things. It can be used to transform yourself overall, your body, your mindset, or you can use it, and you can use it to transform your life. Get yourself into a position where people, whether you're gay or straight, people won't break up with you. If you are a man of status, of high values, if you look good, you're kind, you're a gentleman, you take care of shit, you're entertaining, you're fun to be around, you do fun shit, you're honest, who would leave that? If they do leave you, then that's their loss. I was left for a reason. And that's one thing that a lot of people don't realize. I'm not I'm not gonna get into this right now because it's already long 20 minutes, goddamn. So I gotta go eat, gotta shower, gotta get ready for bed, gotta wake up early. So I will see you hopefully tomorrow. If not, I'll see you when I see you. God bless you.